here with your live show, live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Not a ton of sports going on today. There is that Premier League stuff, I believe. Not Premier League, it's the Champions League, I think. Something like that. It's soccer. It means I don't follow it personally. But some of the guys will have some picks on that. We're going to talk some betting strategy, and we're going to talk, I don't know, whatever the hell we feel like talking about. It's probably going to be not the longest show in the world. I say that sometimes, but sometimes it is. But, we do have, soccer today. We have football coming up this weekend. We knew that this was going to be this slow time, and it's going to be choppy like this all the way through Thanksgiving. But thankfully, it's less than a month away at this point, where we're going to have consistent across-the-board sports is what it's looking like. And the NBA is talking about starting, earlier than what they said, and the players, we're going to rest. You're going to rest anyway. We have seen your act before, I love that. It's like when they make an excuse for something that then what's your excuse the last 8 years that you guys have been doing it? Anyway, so speaking about excuses, let me bring in the guys. Got Brian Bittler, Chris Ruffalo, Rod Zawacki here with us this morning. Just not a lot going on. Brian, you selling soccer picks today?
No, but I do have my Thursday up and ready. My Thursday college football no limit play near the top of leaderboards in college football, over $10,000 in profit. And Thursday, my NFL Thursday night total of the year is up and ready.
Is he done yet?
Oh, another winning night last night. 5 of the last 6 nights winning nights.
How was your baseball season overall?
Crappy. You know what? I love baseball, but the last 2 seasons...
Like how many units were you up? Let's talk about all these units you're up. How many units were you up in baseball this year?
I stopped looking at baseball because I probably am down in units.
All right. It's nice talking to you. Chris?
Baseball. Who cares about baseball? We got football. Football's king.
The question was, how many units are you up in baseball? I'll tell you, I was up, whatever I was in NBA, I was down at least that many in baseball. Terrible. Worst baseball season I ever had.
Me and Mitch usually do well in baseball. But
yeah, normally baseball's a great one because normally there's tons of value because over the course of the 162 games season, there's a ton of value out there. You find these games, they move these guys up, guys get hurt and for long periods, and you have like these pitchers that are coming up from the minors and going down and all these different things. It's like, we didn't have a Cashmere game all year.
No, it wasn't as doggy this year. That's for sure.
It was not doggy. So it was if it's not doggy, and with the U.S. sports books coming into the market, the run lines there was no value there on the run lines.
No.
I've never seen where every day at least half the run lines were negative money because
minus 105, minus 110. It was like. This isn't good.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers didn't even play the Mets this year. It's like you didn't even get those games, and that's where you find it, where like you get these off battles, the Marlins against the Dodgers, the Padres against the Phillies. It's like you didn't get those games this year, and that's a lot of times where the money is at, and where instead we got Dodgers versus the same team they played 9 times, out of the 60 games, and it's like they beaten them 8 of the 9 times, and it's like the run line is minus 210. It's like, speaking of minus 210, Chris, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Coming off that winning day yesterday, 3-0 in the free plays. Had a profitable day in the premiums with a plus 335 Atalanta Ajax draw, and we're going to do it again today. I got a Champions League 5-pack over at the website. All the plays in there, a ton of value. So we're going to have another winning day. I'm ready for it.
Rod, I'm going to start you off with a serious question here. I don't know, 4th round pick for Sam Darnold. What do you think?
That's what he was evaluated at, wasn't it?
I see him like it may be a 3 and a 5. I mean, is it or like a 4 and a 6 or something? 4 and a 7? 4 and a 7?
4 and a 6.
4 and a
Yeah,
7,
like 4
maybe.
and 6. That sounds a little more reasonable than
I mean, because what if you're like the Cowboys, like the teams that need the quarterback? Because a second is almost like a first, It's almost like a first, when you're drafting that high in the second round. Because now you have the day off between the second round, so you get to ruminate over the guys that slipped out of the first round, Yeah.
I think third minimum, second round would be. I mean, because the Jets could stick with Darnold and just trade that a little bit.
Well, who would
offensive lineman?
Who would be willing to trade? Who needs a quarterback that they'd be willing to trade a second round pick for a reach like this guy?
I said third round.
No, you said second. You said second, and we have some pretty adamant opinions out there that he's definitely worth the second, but he's not. Okay, he's not. Not in my book. If
I were the Jets, I would keep Darnold.
Well, let's look. Let's look at the teams that need a quarterback. That are that desperate right now that they're willing. Because the second in these days NFL is big because the guys don't stay with the teams as long. So you need guys that can make an impact quicker. So when we look at the NFL and we look at the standings, okay. So who needs the quarterback? Who needs the quarterback the most? Okay.
Dallas.
Okay, so Dallas needs a quarterback. But when you look at the overall standings, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 8th, okay, in the standings. So Dallas' second round draft choice, if the season ended today, would be number 40 overall pick in the NFL draft. Is Sam Darnold worth the 40th overall pick in the NFL draft? Because you have to remember that a lot of the best players in college football this year, some of the very best of the best ones, aren't on the field. There's a bunch of guys, despite the guys, in addition to the guys that we're seeing out on the field that are playing great, which are, we've seen some great players, right, so far this year. It's been awesome, right? Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, and you got Alabama's got Najee, and Waddle, even with the injury, is probably going to go high, and you got all these other guys.
I was reading an article that Lawrence is now back, and he might change his mind. He's like, maybe I won't report eligible this year. Maybe I will spend another year in college.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go to the Jets, I mean, then there's been 2 instances in my lifetime, at least 2 that I can remember, where a quarterback was drafted by a team that he refused to play for. That's happened twice in my lifetime. One was John Elway when he was drafted by the Colts.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't want to play in the New York sports market, though? I mean, he turns the Jets around and he's a hero.
Or he's a typical Jets quarterback, which is so battered by the time they build a team around him that there's nothing left but a shell of himself. And that's what you see a lot, because he's not going to have that veteran to even sit behind for 5 or 6 games like Tua did in Miami. I mean, in the old days, teams would draft a quarterback. He would sit on the bench for 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve
Young used to sit behind Montana.
Yeah, but I mean, Steve Young also played before in the NFL before he was on the 49ers. I mean, that was his third pro team, his second NFL team. He played when he was in Tampa. He started.
Buccaneers in the USFL.
Yeah. He played in the old creamsicle uniforms for the Bucs. Yeah, Cowboys sitting there at 2-5. So all of these teams, the Eagles, the Chargers, the Broncos, right, the Patriots, Washington, the Eskimos, Bengals, Vikings, Texans, Jaguars, Giants, Falcons, and JTS, Jets. These are the teams that are currently in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. These are the ones that are in.
And he looks at those and he was like, maybe I'll stay in college.
Well,
I know I said at the beginning here.
You pare it down. You pare it down a little bit, and you say, the Eagles on the fence, and I would say of those teams though that are there, because you got Washington, Dallas, and the Eagles and the Giants are all in that group. I'm gonna say that the Eagles, of those crappy teams, the Eagles and the Giants are the 2 better, right? It's in the Washington. I don't know. They're all bad, so it makes it very, very hard. But then you have the Chargers, who just drafted a quarterback who looks like he's pretty good. You have the Bengals, who just drafted a quarterback, number one. Okay, so then you have the Texans. You already have a Clemson quarterback. So it's like, I think they're pretty good. They're pretty happy where they are. The Giants just drafted a quarterback, but they might be willing to make a move for Trevor Lawrence. The Falcons have Matt Ryan. Getting Trevor Lawrence in Atlanta would be huge. He's local. He's the local yokel.
He'd go there too.
He would go there in a heartbeat.
You're
kidding? He'd go there in a heartbeat. His parents are right there. They wouldn't even have to move.
No.
They wouldn't even have to move to go to his games. Matt Ryan's. You would sit there with that contract until it just expired, right? Which probably isn't that long. And the Jaguars, of course, right? The Jaguars would probably take somebody else. It's just what they do. But so there's really not even that many teams in this discussion here that are even, really need.
Well, there's really only one team, Dallas. Nobody else would give up a draft pick for a quarterback, in my opinion. Right?
Well, no. Here are the teams that need a quarterback. Then, okay, the only teams that need a quarterback right now are Dallas, Washington, right? Jacksonville is done with Minshew, right? And they're done.
Well, Jacksonville needs a quarterback, but I don't know if they want to admit they need a quarterback.
Well, these are the people that brought us Blake Bortles and Blaine Gabbert, all within the top 10 of the NFL draft.
But they thought it was acceptable too, so they probably need someone to tell them that.
I never understood either of those picks. I never understood them. I still don't get it.
Well, they thought Bortles was good. He was the leader of the garbage time touchdown. He scored the most in the garbage time touchdowns out of anybody. Bortles led everybody. Like Bortles, garbage time touchdown leader.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man.
Cool. Some
people are pretty adamant that someone would be willing to pay a number 2 for it. Let's just say they messaged my wife to tell them.
Well, that's crazy. I think the conversation isn't whether he's worth a second-round pick. It's what the Cowboys would be willing to give up to get him. So I would think a third-round pick, or what the Jets are willing to part with him for. I don't know.
Watch it be, and Dak.
I think the over-under is third-rounder. So.
And anything else we could do? And how about Dak? How about Ezekiel Elliott, man? How we get shedding that contract?
It's hard for NFLs because they still have a signing bonus they got to eat.
You think Ezekiel Elliott has already lost a step?
Yep. He looks like it.
He looks like it, right?
Yeah. Offensive line's dinged up.
Yeah, but you're not seeing those home runs like where it just breakaway, like where it just looks like he's gone. You just don't see it. It's like it happens to NFL running backs. Some of it happens really fast. Some of them, and some of them, like Sproles, it never really seems to happen. But you see it. And the other guy that's shot is Gurley, right?
Gurley, yeah, that's the other guy that popped in my head. I was like, yeah, he doesn't have that same jump that he had, but they worked him, man. Holy man, did the Rams work that?
How about Melvin Gordon? Shot, man.
Shot. Dallas running back before Elliott, and then he went to the Eagles and he was shot. Forget.
DeMarco Murray.
They fall off the
DeMarco
end.
Murray, yeah.
They fall off the end of the earth.
Yeah, they do. That's why guys like Frank Gore, while he's never going to be like Emmitt Smith because he doesn't have the rings or anything. But the fact that he's lasted 15 years in the NFL as a running back is crazy, man.
It's crazy, yeah.
Crazy. It's still a viable option. Adrian Peterson, these guys are viable options. I think Adrian Peterson's better than Gordon. I think he's better than, than half these guys out there, I think the guys like Mark Ingram, and even Derrick Henry after the pounding that it'll be interesting to see how he is in 2 years, the pounding that he takes.
The workload that he's on right now it takes a toll. It's the reason why NFL players only last so long, a couple years.
So when you see a line move because of an injury, right? So we saw the Browns came down a half a point on the Odell Beckham Jr. injury. Did you guys freak out? I know we got a lot of freaker outers, and it's like I never really freak out too much on it, but I think that I didn't freak out enough on the Andy Dalton that Monday night against the Cardinals. I wish I did, man. I wish I did. Everyone's like, Dak's out. Yeah, it's in the line. No, that wasn't in the line, man. So he goes at like 70 points. It's not in the line.
And then his first throw, it wobbles like this, and it almost gets picked up. I heard that guy did not pick that up, and he's like, oh.
So
yeah, you haven't thrown a pass in over a year.
So bad, man. So I noticed that, Chris, you put in like a lot of Champions League in games yesterday, and I know Goran did as well. Rod, I think, had a couple. It seems to me that these games are as tough as it gets.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, you're seeing. I don't watch the games. I've got to hunt through, and I can't even tell you because all the names are abbreviated. So I'm trying to decipher what's going on here, but it seems to me that these games, are just really, really difficult because you're at that level where everybody's really good. So it's just one, it's like an NFL game where 2 or 3 plays really decide the whole game.
Yeah, and another thing I find is that a lot of these teams, they have their own home leagues, right? And then they play in the Champions League. So which one do they take seriously? Do they take their home league seriously, or do they take the Champions League seriously? And you never know. So one week you look at them, they're like, holy man, they whooped that team in their home league, and then they play the Champions League, and they don't even show up. And it's like, what the?
I saw the cup, right, for the they had it. They did so. The way that they do it with the Champions League trophy is every 2 years. It used to be every 2 years. I don't know how often it is, if it's still doing it this way. They pick a country, and the trophy tours the country. They still do this? I don't know, but they did it before. So in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago, it was touring the U.S., and it was at this little Irish bar where, that was open at like, 2, they would open at like 6 in the morning, to watch soccer games. And they had the cup. And you can get your picture taken, whatever. The thing's gigantic. I mean, it is not like a little trophy like this, man.
It's like a 3 foot tall trophy.
Oh, more than that. It is like yeah, it's a little bigger than that, Brian, for sure.
Bigger than my softball.
That's not the first time he's heard that.
I love my softball trophy.
So we have action today. What do you got? What are you looking at today?
There are a couple games I was looking at for free. I threw them in the Facebook area, but I gotta find it.
Rod, what do you got going on Champions League today? Anything?
Yeah, I got one selection up for sale that I love. Pick it up. You'll be a winner. Love that selection today. I found one. Today's card I found hard. There's probably 2 or 3 games that either end up draw or someone might get a late goal. It's going to be tough today. Today's card I think is even harder than yesterday's card. Cakewalks here today.
Yeah, the 3 picks I had today, I had Club Bruges, the team total under 1.5. It's a team decimated by COVID. I think they're missing 4 of their regular starters, so I took the team total under 1.5. I took Ferencváros and Dinamo Kiev, both teams to score. 2 of their league champions. They can both put goals on the board. I can easily see both teams getting on the board in this one. And I took Sevilla to win against Rennes and both teams to score. I can see it being a 2-1 game. Sevilla needs to get off the schneid defensively. Offensively, they're not scoring within the league, and I think they're maybe saving it up for the Champions League. And Rennes has some talented players on their side for a French team, so I like that one as well.
How about you, Rod?
For me, I'm going to. I'll give you a little birdcage here. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Dortmund to win to 0. I'm going to take Man U and Leipzig to draw, and I'm going to take Barcelona and Juventus to draw. Parlay those up.
So the Cowboys have 2 number 3s. They have 1-1, 1-2. They have 2 number 3s, 2 number 4s, and 2 number 6s. So I think a 4 and a 6.
3.
There's no way he's worth the 3. I just want to get a rise out of it.
Me and Mitch go, all right, he's worth a 4. No, a 3. He's worth a 4. 6. No, 3. What a battle.
I pay you to listen to me.
I wish they'd just make a trade so one of us would be right.
Chris, I am the root of all evil.
Absolutely.
And
if I was Dallas, I think about tanking the rest of the year.
And then some. Yeah, I like I like the way people, this guy, right? So this piece of shit that's like sending these videos out and stuff. This guy, I like the way that he feels that he's entitled to, that he should be on the show, that I should let him on my show to say his opinion. But I say, since my show is a free platform for him, he feels, right, and everybody else to call me a piece of shit, right, that I've done all the work, right, to get all the people to the channel and to the show and everything, and that to his platform, and everybody else can just come on and just, with no repercussions, right, can just call me a piece of shit and piece of garbage or whatever. I say, what's preventing you from getting off your lazy, sweaty, scummy, redneck ass and building your own channel and build your own following, and you don't have to worry about my channel anymore and my following and what I say about you and your mama. It's like, you don't have to worry about it. I don't know, man. I don't understand it. I stopped watching weeks ago, and then it's like, I can't believe he said Darnold's not worth the 2nd round pick. It's like, I thought you said you stopped watching weeks ago.
But they show that show on the bus, I don't know, were you hanging out at the bus station or what?
It's like, why don't I watch porn on the bus like everybody else? It's like you ever walk by anybody on the airplane that they got the iPad out there watching porn? It's like so uncomfortable. It's like
Look, I've never had that happen. That would be very uncomfortable. I don't think I can sit there anymore next to really?
It's like, well, this is awkward.
It's even more awkward when you pull the headphone jack out.
It's like, people get on the plane to look over at what's on the iPad. I've seen people, I swear, on the plane reading the sports chat place more than once. Vegas, going to Vegas and stuff. I see people reading sports chat plays. It's like watching our videos. I say, hey. Hi. Oh, hi. So I read that site too. They don't even recognize me. It's crazy. Yeah, it's so awkward, man. Like, there's one seat left on the bus. The guy's watching porn on his iPhone. It's like nothing fun about it.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd have to do that out in that situation. I mean, you don't have enough time to yourself that you could put that on. You have to do it on a bus.
It's a long ride. Yeah,
you got to pass the time somehow.
It's like this one.
That's when you need a first class seat.
It's like this one's got
first class bubbles.
This one's got a great plot.
Tapped on the shoulder. Hey, I have it in HD. You want to watch?
I said, don't even tell me you watch it for the articles, right? I watch it for the articles. Like, we're talking about something totally different. I don't know how we got there, but it's that kind of day. Just no games, nothing. So, anyways, we could sit here for a couple minutes. You guys got anything to say? Because since you're only allowed to say what I say, you can say. Brian?
Well, I think now's a good time to pick up a multi-day pass of one of these guys, 7 days, 3 days, 30 days. I know personally I lowered my 7-day cost, so lock and load now. Big weekend coming up. Saturday's card looks awesome.
Starting next week, we'll have football almost every day. We'll have Mac going on Wednesday and Thursday football, Friday all the way up to Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. We got horse racing coverage.
Yay, I don't have to look at Bundesliga.
We got horse racing coverage at Sports Shop Place.
Do we?
Yep, tennis. Double tennis.
I think some days it's good to take a day off from gambling. You don't have to gamble every single day. So.
It's a gamble.
It's kind of it's like the All-Star break. It's one day.
If you don't think I'm going to be laying some money down at the golf course today, then I got to rebound from Monday's losses. I lost $11.
I think I'm still paying for that Cowboys Cardinals game.
God, that thing was brutal. What's your worst pick so far of 2020? Like, what was your worst bet you made of 2020? Like, what's the one that was just like that Cowboys Cardinals game where it was just like, it was brutal,
The Jets. Why? What was I thinking? Oh, the Jets will cover for sure. The line looks like it will. Yeah, no.
I had the Marlins in that game against the Braves. I had them.
Oh, 29-9?
Yeah.
But those are good when it's a blowout and you're not sitting there. Like, well, that was a bad one.
I'm sitting here on the show. You got to play the value. You got to play the value. You can't just pick. It's like there's no value in 29-9, except if you're on the over.
Man. I think mine might have just came recently. I think that Maryland Northwestern game, I thought that Maryland could keep it close, and it's 43-3.
Oh, God. That was brutal. So, next week, starting on Sunday, I think we'll start. We're going to move the show back to 10 a.m. Eastern time with the clock change. So, I don't know where, everyone's from all over the world. Where I live, we don't change the clocks. So, everything bumps back for me, So everything bumps ahead or whatever. I don't know what it is. 9 o'clock now is like 10:30 for me now is what's my normal time now. So 10:30 for me is 4:30 a.m. for me. And if we keep it at 10:30, the show will be 5:30 my time. But I like to play golf at 7, so I won't be able to make it to the course. So we're gonna move it back a half hour. I can play golf like a normal person. Lose my $11 like I did on Monday. I shot 4 over par. And I shot 4 over par. I lost $11. I mean, this is how good the guys I was playing with were. It was like, oh man, it's just got crushed. Anyways, we got nothing else to say. Anyone got?
I hate moving the clocks. Absolutely hate it. Every year.
Why you gain an hour? It's not so bad.
I don't like it either way. I like just keep it the same. Stop moving it. It's fucked up after. I'm crabby. I don't like moving my clock.
You actually have a clock you move?
No, it moves itself.
Very rare that you see people actually with clock.
I think my parents have to move clocks.
Most people, you're looking at your phone at what time it is, or you're looking at it's on your computer, and automatically does it for you. It's just like, bloop.
Anyways, anyone else want to say anything? Got anyone you want to say hello to out there in YouTube land? I want to say a couple things, non-troll related. I want to say a few things about the Facebook group. Number one, if you're in our Facebook group, please read the rules. And please follow them. They're not optional. They are the rules. If you advertise somebody else's website, a competitor's website in my Facebook group, you're going to be thrown out and blocked. I mean, there are people that were like active contributors in our Facebook group. I threw them out and blocked them. I haven't heard from them. Normally, I'll let people back in if you make an honest mistake. But it's clearly in the rules of the group. And it's like there's a reason why it's there. I don't go into other people's Facebook groups and advertise my stuff. I don't go on other people's YouTube videos and demand that they have me on, right? You know, that to say my piece, right? I don't do any of those things. I don't, go on other people's, shows and spam their comments. I don't do any of those things. And I don't expect people to advertise for other sites. If you're looking for a site that has a particular feature, if Rod's talking about like trends or, odds or, Brian talks about, what side, the public's on and anything like that. Google works great, man, for finding it's Google's like outside of Matt Sar's, sports is, what's that websites to use outside of Matt Sar's sports? Google and Amazon, right? It's like these guys are really good. It's like we're not gonna sit here and deny, that they're not. So it's like, it's I'm just saying that. And also, if you want to be in the Facebook group and you have no profile picture and you have no profile, you will not be allowed into the group. You could apply 100 times. You will be rejected 100 times. There has to be 100% accountability, man. People that hide behind cartoon pictures like Rod does.
I did. You bet I did.
I called Rod out.
I wasn't.
Me and Rod were sparring, man. We were sparring.
Some of us guys just don't want our picture up on our profile. It doesn't mean we're hiding. Maybe we don't want to.
You know what? And even if it's not your profile picture, that's okay. But when you go to your profile and there's no pictures of you, right? Yeah. And there's no friends and there's no nothing. Then you have zero accountability. And we're not going to have that in our group. No friends. We're not going to have that in our group. We're just not going to have it. It's not okay, And if people don't like what I say on the show and people don't like that stuff, then I think I'm probably doing something right. If I piss somebody off enough that they're sending voice messages to Rod and Chris, and it's that type of person that's sending it to them, I'm probably doing something right. That's what I think. Anyways, Brian, what are you doing today with your day off?
Well, almost the same as any other day. I got some work done with games ahead today, but I'm going to go to the grocery store with my son and get some groceries. That's about it.
What's on the list? Slaw? A little coleslaw?
I'm going to get this French yogurt called Ouai or O-U-I, something like that.
That's what that...
Oui?
O-U-I is oui.
I was just going to say oui.
It's like cheesecake. Yeah, it tastes really good. I'm going to get some filet mignon steak. I'm going to get some asparagus. I'm going to put a little olive oil in there, grill it up, and that's what I'm having for dinner.
Oh, it sounds like a nice day you're going to have for yourself there. Chris, what are you doing on your day off?
Maybe try to watch Borat. I kind of want to see. I kind of.
Oh, the new one? I want to see that. Brian?
I watched it yesterday. It was horrible.
Really?
But maybe you guys will like it. Maybe I'm not funny. Maybe I don't laugh anymore because I'm Mr. Serious. But I loved the first one. And yesterday I could only get through half of it. I turned it off. So maybe it's because it's free.
Yeah, maybe. No, but I think we're going to do that. And then got the drive-thru. And then after the drive-thru tonight, going to go do a drive-thru light-up pumpkin exhibit. About 45 minutes from here. So
that sounds
true. You drive for a couple hours. They have all these pumpkins that are carved out, and they made like artistic displays out of them. And
wow, does that sound bad? Rod, what are you gonna do?
Oh, my son would like that.
I'm going to the craft store. Yikes! I'm looking for a foam sphere.
I'm gonna walk the dogs. And what else am I gonna do? I have your housework. Get some housework done at home here. For dinner, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner yet.
Why is it like every time you go into a bookstore, it's like you always have to go to the bathroom, right? It's like, this is going on there. What's up with that?
You don't mind if I take this with me, do you?
Books
For me, it's you walk by the hardware store and you see all the toilets. You're like, I could go.
Sorry, this book's been flagged. Anyways, if anyone bought a 7-day pass or a 3-day pass, and the capper didn't have any picks today, let me know. I can extend it out a day. It's no problem at all. Just shoot me an email. Mitch at pickdogs.com, Mitch at sportschatplace.com. Anyways, I think we've gone on long enough here. This was a show about nothing. We were going to dig ahead into the games later this week, but I don't know. I got nothing to say about them. Me and Chris did some different style videos. I think I was gonna ring Rod up and have him come on with us to do those. If we do that same style next week, we'll have more people on, I think. It's like there's nothing wrong with them being longer like that. It's a different style for sports chat, that is. I'm gonna play golf. I'm gonna start the Pick Dogs videos for the week is what I'm gonna do today. Thanks for
Jets
asking.
line is falling down to 19 and a half. Jets.
Oh, it's like I have a day off. It's like I haven't even looked at lines.
That's all I do. I love lines. That's what I look at.
I used to like lines in college. Then I had to have surgery for a deviated septum. Yeah, it's big on the lines. It's like, how many lines are in a gram? 4. I like big lines. Yeah, the Jets line down to it was 19.5 yesterday. Packers line is down to 6.5 with heavy public action. Brian hates the Packers. You know that.
Oh, the Ravens line moved back up to -4.
Packers, yeah, I love Minnesota there. Boy, if you can get it if you can still get the touchdown, but I'm not falling into that Packer trap.
Packers.
See,
A lot of big line movement this week. Lots of it.
49ers at Seattle. That's a
Well, Bears and Saints have had big line movement. Philly, Dallas, big line movement. Giants, Bucks, big line movement. Almost every game has had line movement, except for the one tomorrow night.
I think the best bet will be the Ravens-Steelers game, so we'll see if that changes. But
Okay.
We're seeing 4s pop up now on Ravens Steelers.
I love betting against Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers because the public loves them. I hate them.
This Packers line looks like the exact same one they whooped Houston with.
Yeah, but I think Minnesota's a better team than Houston. Oh.
All right. We'll see everyone tomorrow. We got 3 games tomorrow. 2 college, 1 NFL tomorrow.
I believe so.
Yep. Yeah.
And then Friday we got 3 games. 1 was canceled. There was 4, but now there's 3. Or was the game canceled tomorrow?
That was Friday. It was canceled for Friday.
Right.
Cancel was Friday.
Right. So we have 3 games tomorrow, 3 games Friday, a full card on Saturday. Of course, Miami's not playing. And then Sunday, we have a good card. Monday, and then next Wednesday starts the Mac attack. Don't forget to vote. I'm voting for tacos. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow. Have a great day.